Oh no!
Jake came on.
Okay.
Want me to help you open that?
Yeah. I got it. I can't do it. Sorry.
Welcome aboard the Washington State Ferries. May I have your attention, please? Hi, this is Bill Yen from Como News Radio at AM 1000 and 97.7 FM. For security reasons.
This is awesome. Are you excited?
Yeah. Oh, these are comfortable.
These are comfortable.
These are comfortable.
It's like,
All right.
Are you cold now that you're soaking wet?
Don't let her fall out.
Gosh.
oh, here, I'm going to get a picture. Better fall at one time.
One time. Just want to get legs. Sissy, are you excited?
Sissy, we're gonna ride the duck.
I cut my mouth off.
What? Cut your mouth off.
You just gotta go. It's probably cheaper just to go eat up there than $100.
I know.
That's what I would say. Just get a cup of French onion soup.
What's your man?
I'm a duck.
Twigs and ride the ducks. Captain Sid will be with short. Roller coaster here. Hill. Okay.
Whoa.
Great check.
Can you say
Oh, yeah, so directly in front of us is the Puget Sound, also known as Elliott Bay, or as I call it, the original eBay. You know, there's actually orca whales out there in the water. Orca whales, yeah. Was quiet. You sometimes hear them. Told you. Oh, stuff like
It's the brakes.
It sounds like a whale, though. That's funny.
Hey, neighbors.
Hey, neighbors.
But like I said, the worst place to stand during a lightning storm, right next to that metal tree to the right. All these sculptures are part of the Olympic Sculpture Park. It's a 9-acre outdoor sculpture park put on by the Seattle Art Museum. Let's call it SAM. Come check it out, absolutely free. Also have free guided tours every Saturday and Sunday during the summer months. The orange one on the hill over there, that's called the Eagle. Now what you gotta do is you gotta look at it, squint your eyes, keep squinting, close your eyes, picture eagle. See it now? Greenhouse looking thing over here to the right, it's called a vivarium. It's a living growing art installation. Actually has a nurse log in there, which is a dead tree that live plants grow off of. Mimi Gates, Bill Gates' stepmom, back in 1996, she was the director of the Seattle Art Museum. While she was stranded in Mongolia on a fishing trip, another person stranded with her was the head of trust for public land. It used to be an old contaminated industrial site. When they came up with the idea to turn to outdoor sculpture park, took 11 years, but in 2007 it's been a hit ever since. Quick stop, make sure there's a train coming here. The eye chairs over here to the right, also part of the Olympic Sculpture Park, in anatomically correct fountain. So let's keep going. It's called Father and Son. Richard and Little Richard. I did not just say that. Family tour, Sid. Family tour. And how about by a show of hands, anyone on board ever been up to Victoria, BC? Yep, a couple of you. Well, if you haven't, you ever want to get there from Seattle, over here to the right is the Port of Seattle. It's home to the Victoria Clipper, which is the fastest passenger ferry in the United States. I'll get you up to Victoria, BC in about 2.5 hours. Fares run around $130. Tried it one time in a duck. Took 2.5 months. I went to tow a honey bucket. And how about any Beatles fans on board? Beatles? Yep. Over here to the right is the Edgewater Hotel. The Beatles stayed there in 1964 at the height of Beatlemania. The hotel needs to be pretty crazy, so they built a 350-foot-long fence around that hotel, wrapped with barbed wire to keep out the screaming fans. Didn't work too well, though. A couple girls snuck in the laundry cart. The Harbor Patrol actually had to plug people out of the water that were trying to swim to the hotel room window. You can still stay in the suite they stayed in. That's for suite number 272, now filled with Beatle memorabilia, only costing about $690 a night. Just in case you don't know who the Beatles are, just picture 4 Justin Biebers on stage with talent.
Say that something. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. Oh, please.
I don't know how to triangle square. Even though it's a triangle. 2 words. Budget cuts. Anyways, so they started rebuilding right away with 2 new rules. Now, the first rule was that all buildings must be built out of non-flammable materials. That's why you'll see the highest concentration of Romanesque revival and Victorian architecture here than anywhere else in the United States. And rule number 2 is must put a Starbucks coffee in every corner downtown. Now, rule number 2 is that all the entrances to the buildings must be built 10 feet above the tide flats, because they want to still in the tide flats below. So they raise the entrances 10 feet, they raise the roads 10 feet. It took them 20 years to raise the sidewalks, but eventually they did, and when they did, it sealed in the time capsule of Old Seattle directly below. So as we're driving right now, we're actually driving on the 2nd level of all these buildings here. There's a whole other level in Old City still down below, which you can see on the underground tour. I'll point out back there to your right. Show of hands, anyone done the underground tour? Yeah, a couple of you. Yeah, not affiliated with the Ducks, but I suggest doing it. I've done it myself. 75-minute guided tour where the tour guide takes you to Old City still down below. It's cool because it looks the same way as it did from back in the day when they first started rebuilding. They give you a lot of history about Seattle. A lot of stuff I'm going to make up today. But, since we're here... Oh yeah, and over here to your left on the corner of this building, this plaque resembles where the Great Seattle Fire actually started. Also to your left, the north face, where all the locals buy their formal wear. That was true. Sorry, I have to pause the music. It's a sad, sad story. Seattle is the only city in the world to have a prison for kids. To your right, their rec yard. Alright, so I'm going to take you to the hardest working man in Seattle. I dedicate this song to him. Oh, speaking of the children's prison, it looks like the chain gang's getting ready to cross in front of us right now.
It's gang gang. Where were the kids?
Like I said, the hardest working man in Seattle. Coming up on your right hand side is Hammering Man. stands 48 feet tall, weighs 26,000 pounds. It's pretty much an icon of the Seattle Art Museum, as I could call it SAM, which is also located over here to your right-hand side. They have over $1 billion worth of artwork in there. Travel tip, free the first Thursday of every month. If you don't catch on that day, suggest a donation of $15. So we're coming up on the Pike Place Market now. Have you all been to the market yet?
Yeah.
Yep, I don't doubt it. Pike Place Market brings over 10 million people a year through Seattle. It opened back in 1907. The farmers were tired of the middlemen jacking up prices on produce. Just an example, 1906, onions were 10 cents a pound. 1907, $1 a pound. So the market opens so the farmers can sell directly to the public. Nowadays they have over 600 workers in there, 200 different shops and restaurants. They don't allow chain stores except for one. Any guesses?
Starbucks.
Starbucks. Yep, very first Starbucks opened the market in 1971, eventually moved across the street in 1976. I'll get close to this picture here. City's like rules. So as you make this right-hand turn on Pike Street, up to the left is going to be the famous Pike Place Market sign you see in all the postcards. #1 most photographed sign here in Seattle. Also right under that sign is where they do all the famous fish throwing, so if you never got a chance to check that out, that's where you'd want to go. You really have to stop dropping that window when it's raining. Also to your left, our Hard Rock Cafe. Across the street from that, a Target. City Target, that is. Interesting thing about that Hard Rock Cafe back there, though, is all the other ones have a Gibson or Fender guitar on the outside facing straight up. Well, that one is a Fender guitar facing down, because that's how late Kurt Cobain used to wear his Fender guitar over his shoulder. It is from the band Nirvana from here in Seattle, if you didn't know that.
Let's fly away. If you can do some exotic fly with me, let's fly, let's fly. Come fly with me, let's float down to in Lamb-o-Land, there's a one-man band and he'll tune his good for you. Come fly with me, let's take off.
Sail that day for a 90-minute tour, a 90-minute tour.
The weather started getting rough, the time the ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship sank round on the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, a millionaire and his wife, a movie star, Professor and Marianne, here on Gilligan's Isle. So this is the tale of our castaways. They're here for a long, long time. They like to make the best of things. It's an uphill climb. But first mate and his skipper too will do their very best to make the others comfortable and top behind the best. No fallout lights, no mother cry, not a single luxury. Like Robinson Crusoe, it's primitive as can be. So join us here each week, my friends, you're sure to get a smile from 7 stranded castaways here on Gilligan's Isle.
Alright you guys, so once we go in the water, we will be going past people who live directly on their boats. So once again, I'll keep the narration down just through the channel. I'll pick it up once we get out to the lake. At this time, I'd like to take a vote. Who wants to go in slow? Alright, one kid. Who wants to go in fast?
Yeah!
Alright. Slow it is.
Yeah, I got it right.
I don't suggest doing this in your own car.
Okay, hold on to
Unless
her.
you got a rental.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88. Road? Well, we're going, we don't need road.
Alright, so just give me a second while I turn this truck into a duck. Not associated with the Minnesota Vikings, just so you know. Go Seahawks.
Here we go.
Oh, whew. Thing I remembered. Hey, real quick, under that back seat back, there's a little spot for this thing.
Whoa. You look scared, Cody.
Like that.
No.
I'm sinking down there.
Meanwhile.
Why?
Besides, Daddy can swim really good. I'll swim with you.
These are houses.
Look at these houses. People live on these little boats. Just like in that movie Sleepless in Seattle.
Vodka?
That's awesome. Vodka.
I'm just kidding. It's gin. Less calories.
Less calories.
There's a house over there.
Yeah. People live on, that'd be neat to live on one of those, huh? That way it doesn't matter how much it rains. You never flood.
We're flooded. What? That's a bird. How come he's wearing another hat, Dad?
Different hats.
Top speed right there. Alright, so welcome to Lake Union. Now it's called Lake Union because it unites Lake Washington to the east to the Puget Sound to the west. Any ideas? Fresh or salt water? Fresh. Yep, it is fresh water. It's connected to the Puget Sound, which is salt water. However, it's connected by locks, the Ballard locks. So anytime they bring a boat in from the salt water, they flush the locks out with fresh water, never letting any salt water enter into the lake. Average depth 34 feet. So if we were to actually stand this duck up on end, we'd still be sinking out of the water about a foot. Lake Union has some great history. Even a major airline was born out on this lake. A little more on that later. Fishing's pretty big here in Seattle. At times we're going to have up to 700 fishing vessels docked here, and they're responsible for catching up to 50% of all edible fish in the United States. So if you're somewhere in the U.S. eating some sushi, 50% chance that it came through Seattle. Also out here on Lake Union, sometimes you'll get to see some of the boats from the show Deadliest Catch. The majority of them dock out at Fisherman's Terminal in Magnolia. If you're not familiar with the show Deadliest Catch, it's an Emmy Award-winning reality show where a camera crew goes on board crab fishing boats out to the Bering Sea in Alaska and films them doing their job. Now it's called Deadliest Catch because it's a deadly job. Just imagine you're working a 24-hour shift in the middle of winter. You got 40-foot waves crashing against your boat, 80-mile-per-hour winds coming at you, 700-pound crab pots flying over your head. The injury rate on that job, 100%. It's not if, but when you're going to get injured. Also with that job, you're 90 times more likely to die doing that job than the average job in America. Over here to your right, these are some of my favorite houseboats out here on the lake. But officially, house barges turned into houseboats. I'll explain the difference using the brown and silver one on the end as an example. On the right side of it, on the outside, you see that white column. That's where the steering wheel is at, the helm, where the skeleton's standing up. Then on the left side, you'll see the two outboard motors. Now a house barge is just what you see there, minus the motors and the steering. However, since house barges have to be tugged in, tied up to the dock, and can't make way on the lake by themselves, they have to pay a property tax. So what they did, they threw some outboard motors on it, steering system, some navigation lights, no property tax. Imagine that whole thing floating around out here in the lake all by itself. Alright, so I have a song to get us a little further out here in the lake, and then I'll tell you about this rusted out factory coming up on your right hand side. And just so you know from pictures, I'm going to go out here and do a little bit of lake, so both sides of the duck will get great views of the Seattle skyline. But also, like I said, feel free to stand and walk around if you want. That is Gasworks Park. The factory on there is an old coal gasification plant built back in 1906 when Teddy Roosevelt was president. What that factory used to do is it used to turn coal into gas, which was used to heat houses, power street lamps. However, it became obsolete in 1956 when coal gas was replaced by natural gas. Also, the city was trying to decide what to do with that land mass over there, so they decided to turn it into a park. It was the first industrial site to park conversion in the United States. As they're turning it into a park, they're trying to decide what to do with the factory, whether they should keep it or tear it down. Obviously, they kept it. You know how Tony Seattle's big on public art? Well, they wrapped the fence around it and they call it public art. Gasworks Park is the most popular 28 acres in Seattle, especially popular on the 4th of July, when thousands of people gather over there to watch the fireworks get shot off a barge that's docked right in the middle of the lake. Gasworks Park has also been featured in the TV show The Amazing Race. Starting line of one season and the finish line in a separate season. Also, a couple of movies had some scenes shot over there. A movie called Singles, another movie called 10 Things I Hate About You. Alright, so I told you about a couple movies shot over there at Gasworks Park. I'm going to take you to the most popular movie set here in Seattle. Here's a clue to get us over there.
I remember the day of this around.
Yep. That houseboat he lived on was over here.
Well, you can have a drink.
Pass out on you the whole time or just recently? Yeah. Usually when you get to the water, that's usually when they pass out. How old is the kid? 3? Okay, so it's what, $18.62 nap?
Yes.
Should have told me he was 2.
We'll get a hip, double dip, hip, copy to see Monday. So you can level up, don't go slow. It's only green lights and alright. Let's go to
Where is he at? Right. Where's Baltimore?
Ah, it's right there. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 26 states between here and there. Now that's a sign. I'm out of here. Goodbye. Good night. I love you.
It's so important to make someone happy. Make just someone happy. Make
You guys
just
warm enough?
heart to heart.
Oh, the storm's coming in, man. It hasn't even started yet.
Smile that cheers you. One face that lights that agrees you. One where you're everywhere.
Uh-oh. No, I'm just kidding. Anybody know what popular movie set we're going to see?
Sleepless in Seattle.
Yep, Sleepless in Seattle. I'm going to show you the Sleepless in Seattle floating home. Notice how it said floating home and not houseboat or house barge, because there's a difference. I'll explain that once we get to the other side of the lake. If you look out to the right, though, it's going to be the khaki-colored house. Has a single window on the second story. Has a triangle roof. Red kayak on the deck. It's to the right of the sailboats, kind of sitting by itself. Everybody see it over there?
Yep.
Yep, that's it right there. Sleepless in Seattle was filmed in 1993. Starred Tom Hanks, original Meg Ryan. Was recently voted by the American Film Institute as one of the top 10 romantic comedies of all time. That's not to be taken lightly. It's right there on that deck where Tom Hanks stood and watched the fireworks. Also right there is where he ran around in circles looking for his son. Went to New York to meet his new mom. Interesting fact about the home is that a couple bought that home after the movie was shot there for $600,000. Just recently sold it for $2.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah. Which Tommy's come sit on the deck of my house. Big square building on the hill in front of us. Look at your dad, right? Look at your dad.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, look at you. Future duck captain right there.
Watch where you're going.
Kidding. Stay in school. Go to college.
Look down.
Trust me.
Listen to the music of the moment, people dance and
Look at you, man. You're so cool. Let's see, like 3, 4, 4? 4. Yeah, my boy, he's 5.
Awesome.
I'll show you a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, beast mode, baby. He's like, I don't care about you, son. I'm driving this truck. Alright, now we're going to have to turn a little bit this way, okay? Yep, there we go. Hold it right there. It doesn't react fast like a car. I don't know if you drove a car either, but probably not. It takes a little while for it to start turning. Alright, let's let someone else try, okay?
Okay, come on, bud.
Someone else want to come up here and try? Good job, buddy.
Good job.
Alright, there you go, man. Now we need to turn a little bit more to the left. Yeah, just like that.
You did good, bud. Awesome. You drove us.
You'll want to start turning to your right about now. Yep, keep going. Hold it right there. Quiet. Good job. Maybe a little bit to your left. Keep going. Yeah, right there, hold it. I don't want you to get too close to them over there. They don't like it when we drive by and talk in front of their house. They paid $3,000 million for it. 3,000 million.
3,000
Making up words now. Alright, a little more back to your right. Keep going. Hold it right there. Pause the music. Take the microphone. Tell everyone about the major airline that was born around this lake. I was kidding. Alright, I got it here, buddy. Alright, so I told you guys that a major airline was born out on this lake. Well, if you look over here to the right, we have all these covered boats. Well, behind them to the left, I'll get you another chance, bro. Don't worry, I got you, man. Sorry, I didn't want to anyways. My dad told me to. If you look over here to the right, we have all these covered boats. Well, behind them to the left, there's that willow tree. Back in 1916, a young boat builder turned airplane designer had an airplane hangar over there. Built his first seaplane, pushed out here on the lake, took his first flight. Flew so well, he went to the government and said, hey, I think I can deliver the mail at this thing. So they awarded him a contract. He started delivering the mail. Shortly after that, he started delivering passengers. Well, the airline grew bigger and bigger. He eventually sold it off, but today the airline is known as United Airlines. Young man's name, Bill Boeing. Yep, also right there for Boeing. Seaplanes are still pretty big out here on Lake Union. Lake Union is home to Kenmore Air and Seattle Seaplanes, which are both down on the south end of the lake. You can take a flight around downtown Seattle, or you can fly all the way up to Canada. Since they fly to Canada and land on Lake Union, it actually classifies Lake Union as an international airport. So now I'm going to teach you the difference between floating homes and houseboats. A houseboat, just like the one I showed you when we first got out here, a houseboat's just like an RV on the water. They're self-contained. You're going to tie them from the dock, float around here on the lake, and then tie them back up to the dock. As opposed to floating homes, like the Sleepless in Seattle floating home and all these floating homes over here to the right. They're just like regular homes. They're permanently structured to the dock there. They're hooked up to city, water, sewer, garbage, electricity, and they just stay put. So you can't untie them and float around out on the lake. Medium price on a floating home on Lake Union, $500,000. Gets about 1,000 square feet. Interesting, cool fact about some of these floating homes, some of them actually have basements in them. And you go down the basement, on the basement walls, there's lighted portholes that you can look at, and you actually see fish swimming by your place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I normally don't do this, but you guys seem pretty cool, and I'll probably never see it in my entire life. So you want to know where I live? See that bright yellow over there to the right?
Yeah.
13 miles south of that one. Not only do people live on floating homes, houseboats, house barges, they also live on their boats. Now here on Lake Union, we have more people living on the water than anywhere outside of Asia. It all started back in the early 1900s.
Can you swim?
Loggers, they cut down like 3 or 4 logs, tie them together, put a shack on top of it, push out here on the lake and call it home. But by 1914, we had about 2,000 people living out here on the lake. The plumbing for those logs. Look, Ma, no hands. Look at all this stuff, man. You know what all this does up here? Neither do I. We got our curtains over here.
As soon as it's
These
over.
are the curtains. This is a bilge pump, so if any water gets on the duct, the user that pumps it out. That's how you check and make sure they're working. Now everyone take a picture of their house.
Peacock. Peacock.
What?
What? It's right there, peacock.
You think so? It's like a
That's a Christmas decorated thing.
Christmas tree.
Oh, Christmas tree and chicken Santa.
No, it's a peacock. Peacock.
Okay.
Hey, it's a peacock.
Was he saying peacock?
Peacock.
I thought he was saying seahawk.
Well, he calls it peacock.
Oh, peacock?
Look at that nice boat, huh?
It's like a wasn't Ed's boat like that?
Yeah. That's why that one's nicer than Ed's.
Alright, you guys have another round of applause for Lake Union.
I'm driving my life away,
Literally.
looking for a better way for me. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a sunny day. Well, the midnight headlight finds you on a rainy night, steep grade up ahead, slow me down, make it all time. But I gotta keep rolling. The gold windshield wipers slapping out of tempo, keep the perfect rhythm with the song on the radio. But I gotta keep rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way for me. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a sunny day. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way for me. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a sunny day. Well, the midnight headlight finds you on a rainy night, steep grade up ahead, slow me down and make me no time. But I gotta keep rolling. Those are windshield wipers slapping out the tempo, keeping perfect rhythm with the song on the radio. But I gotta keep rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way for me.
You laughing at me? You should be.
He's silly, huh?
Tunnel scream on 3. 1, 2, 3.
channel screen.
Well, good thing you got that green light. Why? Just like to move it.
I know.
Like this. Now pause and go crazy.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. We like to move it. I like to move it, move it. She like to move it, move it. We like to move it, move it. We like to move it. We're jumping out the floor, dancing till your feet get sore. Party hard just like it's Mardi Gras, 'cause that's what life is for. And we don't party hardly, we just party hard. And not because we bored, we party 'cause we born to party. We don't wave our body, put our hands in the air and wave them all around like we just don't care. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Physically around. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. We like to move it. I like to move it, move it. She like to move it, move it. We like to move it, move it. We like to move it. Party ain't done, party ain't done. Party this, party that, party that done. It just begun, big action. Pump up the volume, speakers blasting. Shake up the ground, shake up the ground. Shake like an earthquake, shake up the ground. Say to make a sound, say to make a sound. Say to make a, say to make a, say to make a sound. So do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance. Hands my pants, got hands my pants. Hands my hands, my hands, my pants. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Doing what I'm doing, yo. First name photo, last name photo. Here's how you spell it, O-T-O-T-O. When I start getting all the girls want a photo. Hold in the house, I'm about to turn it out. You know it's going down, physically around.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. We like to move it. I like to move it, move it. She like to move it, move it. We like to move it, move it. We like to move it. I like to party, party. He likes to party, party. They like to party, party. We like to party. She like to shake it, shake it. She like to shake it, shake it. He like to shake it. Yeah. Somebody say ho, ho. Say ho, 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 ho. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Yo, somebody say yeah, yeah.
Just kidding. They're doing way better on Craigslist. I'll take back to the take booth. Make sure you check out those photos that were taken of you, so you can see what your hair looked like 90 minutes ago. Because now for some of you, it's looking a little close to this. Alright, you guys, I'm going to let you know a little friendly competition us captains have going on.
Wyatt. Hi. back through the puddle. Woohoo! Hey, where are you going? Stay out here in this wide open space. Get out in the gravel here. Do a donut.
Go mud bogging. Yeah, right to that mud hole.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, just go this way. Turn around. You got plenty of room. Go this way. What's up with the screaming?
You're kooky. Go out here and do a donut.
Do I have a funny scream?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.